Good evening, everybody. Hope you're well, or good morning. Well, technically, it's good morning because it's 3:23 a.m. And you may say, "What are you doing up this morning?" Well, I got a lot of things on my plate to get done before the official day starts, and I'm testing out some new technology that I've got in play to make sure that the whole of 2023 goes the right way, right? As you can see up in the corner there, well, let me do this corner. Here we go. This corner here, Launch Your Power. I'm getting ready to start an event called Launch Your Power. What is it about? Well, it's about exactly what it says, launching your power. Not anybody else's power, not anybody else's definition of who you are or who you should be, but who do you choose to be? Launching that and launching that so you can have success in your business, you can have success in your life, success in your career. Get to that place where every day is a good day for you because you're living in your own personal choice, doing so by your own terms. And a lot of people may say, well, that sounds selfish. It's not selfish. If I want to show up and be the best me I can be for you, I've got to make sure I'm being the me I'm choosing to be for me. Let me say that again. If I'm going to show up to be the best you want me to be, like you want me to be the best Lizzie when you show up, we just want you to be Lizzie to the fullest. Well, then I have to be the best me for me. And that means I have to be who I choose to be today. It's not about being fake, but it's about understanding that you are constantly evolving. I have embraced the fact that I'm constantly evolving. Sometimes there are things that trigger the evolution, right? There can be circumstances, what I like to call unsolicited change, that shows up. And when it shows up, it can trigger an evolution. Is that a negative? No, because consistently we're wanting to grow. And if we don't grow, we don't get to our next level. We don't get to achieve the things we really want to achieve. And when opportunities come our way, we're not all we need to be for that opportunity because we didn't take the opportunity that came beforehand, that was set up to prepare us for that. Now, the opportunities that come to prepare us for the, oh, this is fabulous, they're not fabulous. That's the problem. See, they're not. They're not fabulous. The things that just kind of show up, they're not fabulous, but they are getting you ready for those fabulous opportunities. So let's think about that for a second. If I am aware that launching my power is what I want to do, one. And if number two, I know without a shadow of doubt that some stuff's going to show up that I'm not expecting, but I know this, I can then be prepared for it and have a response. See, that's the power is in the response. Having the response makes a really big difference. And I want you to be able to always have a response because you see, if you don't have a response, you have a reaction. And you tend to have to say sorry for reactions. Let me say that again. You tend to have to say sorry for reactions. Now, you may not be saying sorry to the people you reacted on, but when you sit with yourself and you go back and you reflect how you acted, you tend to have to say sorry to you because in that moment, you didn't present as your best self. In that moment, you weren't in your power. In that moment, the circumstance, the situation, the things others were doing, that was what was controlling you, which is why you had reaction. That's not who we want to be in 2023, right? Everybody agree. That's not who we want to be. We want to have control of the one thing we can have control of, and that is us. We want to have control of us. That's so vitally important. So I want to leave you with this thought because I'm going to go on and test something else. And the thought is this. Oh, hold on. We've got one more thing that I want to try on this particular stream right now. So bear with me. Let me just turn it on. So the platform I have used in the past has been StreamYard. So those of you who do live streaming, you're aware of StreamYard, right? So that's what I've used in the past. Now, what I'm attempting to do now, which it didn't work for me. It says recreate the connection. So let's recreate the connection. and do that again. What it is I'm attempting to do now is, while I'm streaming, is also stream at Instagram at the same time. Right. And I like to test these things late at night. Right. I just do, because then it's quieter and you can see what's working and what's not working. So I'm looking right now and it's giving me a new key. So the tool I'm using at the moment, which is why I like this kind of tool, it's going to enable me midstream while I'm talking to you to be able to make this addition. So I'm going to do it literally. Well, this is what it says it can do, right? So we'll see if it's true. So I'm taking the key right now, and this could almost be a tutorial. And I'm adding now this custom destination. So I'm going to add it. Boom. Let's just put it here. Now, I don't know if what it wants me to do is to make sure that I authenticate it. It may want me to do that. And I may need to turn off. Yep, I think it wants me to do some authentication because it didn't like it without it. I'm going to try it one more time without it and just see if it will add it and be nice. If not, then I know I got to authenticate. See, these are the things that we do when we are wanting to truly do this whole social media thing, right? And take advantage of the technology that is out there. But you've always got to run experiments. If you don't run experiments when you're doing like a big thing, not saying this isn't a real thing, but you understand what I mean. Like, let's just say you had a whole bunch of guests on and you wanted to stream to multiple platforms, and you really believed that this was working. Well, oops, it looks like it is. It looks like it is. According to my little, well, see, it says it's working, but I'm not seeing that. And here's one of the things Instagram can get really dodgy with. If you're supposed to be doing a live and it says you're doing a live, but you're not showing a live, Instagram can get funny with you and want to mess up with your account. So I'm literally going to go to my account now on Instagram and see what's going on. So let's see. Let's go to Instagram. And I'm not seeing that the live is actually showing, although it's saying here that we're live. I don't see that it's telling me the truth. So that's something I'm going to have to play with a little bit more to get it right. Yep, not seeing it. But there you go. These are things that one does. One runs experiments. And the nice thing about running an experiment, here's a nice thing about running an experiment. The nice thing about running an experiment is you get what? Something to review. That's what we've got to do every time we launch our power, is go through a cycle. What are you launching today? Why are you launching it? And how is this launching going to serve you? What are you launching today? How is it going to serve you? See, whatever it is you're launching, whatever it is you're putting forth, it's supposed to serve you in some way. And you may say, well, what do you mean serve me? Well, serving the vision you have for your life, serving the achievements that you want to be. Where do you see yourself in 2-3 years? Where is that for you? And if somebody asks you that question, does it make you go, it shouldn't. Why shouldn't it? Because you should be living your life with intention. And you don't get to do what I just like to take each moment as it comes. Okay. But where are you aiming for moments to take you? See, if you don't have an aim in mind, what can the universe offer you? You've got no intention. How does it meet you? How does it provide for you? You're not asking for anything. You're just, I'm just going to take the moment. That's fine. A lot of people like to live that way. But if you're living with the idea that your life is there to serve others, and there is something you want to give to the people in your circle, whether that's your children, your community, the family you chose, well, that means you've got to live with some intention. You've got to have some kind of goals. Willy-nilly doesn't work. It doesn't work when you're there for others. If you're there just for yourself, if it's all just about you and nobody else really matters, then go for it. I mean, that works. You wake up in the day, how do you feel? You wake up tomorrow, it's all fine. Not a problem. But the minute you know there's somebody else outside of you, there's a child, there's a mother, there's a father you want to look out for, there are friends you want to do good for, then you have to live with intention. And so you have to ask yourself, the things that you're doing, are they serving you? Does it bring you value? Does it not bring you value? Could it possibly bring you value? What you got to do so that that thing will bring value to you and help you to hit your intentions? I like to call it altogether your VIM, VIM, your vision, your intention, and the missions. And to learn more about that, you need to make sure that you're following me, because I'm going to dig into those things. And in fact, this week, I'm going to touch VIM in the live event that I am doing that will be beamed into the Facebook group called Launch Your Power. So I'll be talking more about that. And in fact, let's see if I can do this right now. Let's see if it will let me. I'm experimenting, people. Experimentation. Oh, there it is. Now, if you take a look right now on the screen, see, that was an experiment and it served me. You can see 2 QR codes. Gotta love the QR codes. You gotta love the QR codes, because these 2 QR codes here, one of them, and that's the black one, the one on the bottom, will send you directly to the event I'm doing this week. The one on the top will give you access to the Facebook group. It will invite you there. So you can take that invitation. You can join the Facebook group where I'm going to beam this event starting Tuesday. It's Tuesday, not tomorrow. It's Tuesday night. You got Monday and you got Tuesday. And technically we're in Monday right now, so we're talking Tuesday. I will be going through some of this stuff. I will be taking people a little bit deeper into launching their power, and not just tickling their fancy, but actually giving them some real steps on how to launch their power. So if that's something that interests you, get in on that. Get in on that so that you can learn some of these tips that will take your life to a whole nother level. I am very passionate about helping people transition. But I've learned from my own life experiences, transition doesn't happen once, it doesn't happen twice, it doesn't happen 3 times. It's always happening. Any of you seen the Allstate commercial, right? Every Allstate commercial, mayhem shows up doing something crazy. Well, there's always going to be a little bit of crazy that's going to show up. It's either going to show up through you or it's going to show up through somebody else. And every time it comes, I want people to be ready for it. And particularly, particularly women. Why? Well, I can seriously identify, right? I got some stories I can tell. I got some roads I can tell you, don't go left. Instead, I would suggest when this happens, go right. There are things I can give you real experiences on, and there's things I can pull out of my corporate toolkit that it can really equip you to have those blueprints. See, the wonderful thing about blueprints is this. Whenever you think about a house being built or any kind of property, there's a blueprint, and the blueprint gives a framework that people can work through. But the styling is individual, right? So even though the buildings go up, some interior decorator is going to come in and take somebody's vision and make it look like this. So you can have 2 exact buildings that have the same exact blueprint, but when you walk into them, they look like 2 different buildings. That's because each building has its own impression, its own style. Like you and me, we both have our own impressions of both styles. There's a way I like to dress. There's colors I like to use. There's foods I like to eat. There's colors you like. There's ways you like to dress that gives your essence out to the world. That's our individuality. But you need a blueprint. Because if you don't have a blueprint, the structure that you want to build, it won't be clear. And if you don't have a structure, you don't have anything to put your kind of flavor and your essence on. So it's necessary to have a structure. And so this week, I will be going into structures for people to utilize, specifically women, and women who know on the inside of themselves that they're leaders. Women who know. No, you're not still fooling around with it. You're like, I know that's the woman I am. I am a woman who leads. That is my destiny. That is my purpose. That's what already I'm doing right now. I'm leading women. If you know you are a leader and you're leading in organizations, or you're leading in your business, or you're leading in your community, then you need a blueprint. And this blueprint will enable you to do things consistently, successfully. Let me say that again. Consistently, successfully. Consistently, successfully. And that's what we want. Right? Yeah, right. We want that. Why go through more pain when you don't have to? Like, if you can go skip it, why not skip it? That's the whole point behind the blueprint. So I will be giving the blueprint and rules of engagement will be given out so that people have those. Because let's not talk about rules of engagement are so like vitally important. Just vitally important. It's kind of like if you're going into high society, right? If you're going into high society, you know that when you go to a table, this is the way you should sit. This is the way you should cross your legs. This is the way you should reach for your glass. This is where the fork should be. This is where the knife should be. Napkins, this is how you take it out. This is how you spread it across. There's rules of engagement. It helps that when you're in that environment that you can abide by those rules of engagement, then you're able to do all that you need to do, and you're able to strategize because you understand the rules of engagement. It's hard to strategize when you don't know the rules of engagement. You could form a strategy that won't fit. And it's not because the strategy wasn't good, and it's not because you're not great. You just didn't know the rules of engagement. And they're rules of engagement. And we're going to talk about those. And in fact, I'm kind of excited about that part. Because when I really thought about what are those rules of engagement to give women to consistently engage and have success and be able to understand how to position themselves and what their posture should be without losing themselves, right? What's your posture, and how do you place yourself without losing yourself? That's so important. I spent many years in corporate space not being me because I didn't really understand the rules of engagement, and I was confused by some things. However, when I understood the rules of engagement, I could show up in every room and still be me. Always. Always. But it took time to get there because I didn't understand. Right? No, there wasn't anybody who gave me, here's the rules of engagement, Lizzie, for when you're in corporate, so that you can show up and be effective. Always. It was stumble, right? I don't want you to stumble. And there's women who've been around corporate a long time will say to you, yeah, you can stumble when you don't understand how to show up and how to position and how to place yourself. And if you understand how to do that, your messaging, everything that you want to give out, you'll always be able to give it out because you'll always have the ability to have a room that is listening and not a room that feels it needs to defend itself against you. Let me say that again. You'll always have a room that's listening and not a room that feels it needs to defend itself against you. Now, there's days you may not want to use the rules of engagement because you just don't feel like it. But you know when you don't use them, what you're possibly going to have to encounter. You know it. And so you're like, okay, I know I'm going to have to encounter it, and I'm going to have to dodge bullets, and I'm going to have to do all it. And and you maneuver and you do all that stuff. Fair play. But when you are not wanting that headache, and you want to get in the room, and you want to be able to communicate, and you want the messaging that you sent to be the message that's received, rules of engagement help. They definitely help. Anyway, or anywho, as I've been hearing quite a few of my friends and different people saying lately, anywho, that brings me to a wrap. I am going to go back now and look at all these little stations I tried to beam to, and I'm going to go and figure out what's going on with this Instagram situation because I want that to work for me. Find out why it's not working. so that I will be able to be more the way. I am going to try this again with bringing Ecamm in here. Ecamm, people, I love Ecamm. Ecamm, did you hear me say that? I love you. And the reason why I love Ecamm is the fact that in flight, I can change so many things. So I could be writing on the screen right now and that could be coming in, all that kind of stuff. And I like that idea. Now, this that you can see happening, if people were chatting with me, that chat would come up. Okay, I could see it. But if I'm in an Ecamm as well, I could almost be chatting back. So there's so many tools out here. If you're thinking about you want to start doing it, start with something very simple. I'm going to say that. Start with something simple. And I would definitely say if you want something just simple to get you out there, definitely StreamYard is the way to go. You don't have to think too hard with that. You just do, and it's going to do a lot of things for you. When you get to the point where you know you want to do more, then you're going to go to a tool like what I'm in right now, Restream. Just because it gives you the ability to do more. That's why you're going to go with this more tool. Now, there'll be people who will disagree with me. But one of the things I've watched and I played with and over this whole time from we went through quarantine and I watched hardcore streamers, I noticed that this tool is always something that people are using when they're looking to do multiple platforms at the same time. It just kind of does it for you and gives you analytics. See, analytics. So if you're a person who's looking for analytics, you're going to be able to get analytics on here. So if you are building content to drive a business, then you want to understand who's watching, when they're watching, where they're watching for, and all those kinds of things, and how long people are staying engaged with you. This tool helps you to be able to understand those things. And that's what I like, and that's why I've switched over to it. And also, the fact that they did a really good sale for Black Friday, people. They did 50% off. This tool is not necessarily the cheapest on the market, but it did 50% off, and that was bonusly fabulous. So just saying, if you're looking to stream and you want to stream to multiple platforms, it's definitely the one to go for. Now, again, take a look. Here we go. Please make sure that you now go ahead and you QR code this. Just put your phone up on camera and it'll take you there. Join the Facebook group. Go have a look at my event. Would love to see you attend. And of course, I want to give you the opportunity to get to know me a little bit better. And a great way to get to know me is to follow me on all social media platforms. And see, that's something I've neglected here because I'm doing a test. I really haven't put anything up, but I'm going to put up a QR code that will hold all those things so that you can follow me. You can follow me on LinkedIn. You'll find me, Your Agile Lady. Your Agile Lady will be on Instagram. You will find me on Facebook as I am Lizzie. You'll find a Facebook page called Launch Your Power, which you got a link to right here. So there are several. Let me take a moment and explain that. And let me be honest, I'm going to kind of cut out this explanation so that people have it in the future. What I'm getting ready to do in 2023. So I'm going to give you a little insight to what I'm getting ready to do. In 2023, I'm getting ready to expand and scale. Right? I teach people how to scale in organizations. I'm getting ready to scale myself. Those of you who've known me over the years will know me associated to Bearded Eagle, the agile management and consultancy practice that I built with my business partner, Devon Morris. Now, Bearded Eagle went through a lot of transitions during...
Yes, I am wealthy. Yes, I am confident and bold and favored always.
Did you hear that? Yes, I am confident. Yes, I am bold and favored always. One of my affirmations that is talking out to me because it's scheduled to talk to me at that time and just kind of announce that affirmation. Now, that was a company that was built, and we were blessed and did exceedingly well. And we're known for training people about Scrum and Agile all over the world. And we traveled around the world doing that. Now, as we are at this juncture, having gone through COVID and the business got hit, right? A lot of businesses did. Um, and some of the challenges that we had with constraints that were put around us and what it was that we did made things more difficult. But in moving forward, there's things that we are looking at that Devon is passionate about, I'm passionate about. Devon is passionate about helping men, I'm passionate about helping women. And we're looking at how can we better serve the people we're passionate about serving in a different way, in a way that we can take the things we've been through ourselves in our journey of life, in our journey of building a business, in our journey of career, all the things that we've done. How can we help people with those same things? Because people are going through those journeys, people are starting, people are having some of those experiences. How can we help them not to experience some of the pains that we've experienced, and how can we help them to consistently triumph? Because that's the idea, helping you to consistently triumph. So when I thought about that, one of the things I am very aware of is the idea that as people, we grow. Whether we want to or not, we grow. Now, there's those of us who grow intentionally, so we grow at a much greater speed, but there's growth that comes to others. Even if we don't acknowledge it, we're like, oh my gosh, that person's exactly the same. They haven't grown. What are you talking about? They still talk the same. If you see the way they're dressed, they don't look like they've grown to me. We can say that because in our mind, by our judgment, they haven't grown. Nevertheless, they actually have. It's just smaller. Because that's what life does. It makes you grow. As you get older, there's growth. It doesn't mean your age and your growth are simultaneous, because sometimes they're not, because of different things that have happened to you in your past. And many of us, we can be a certain age, but in fact, we're still a 6-year-old because of certain things that took place in our life and have held us prisoner to that space and time. So although we speak with the voice of an adult, we have the body of an adult, we have the brain of an adult. Our emotional intelligence, our inside, how we respond to things is still responding from that space where we got stunted due to whatever trauma or etc. that we went through. That's just one of those things that happens. So you still grow, but growth is slower. So understanding that, I've created an academy dedicated to growing the person that is you, dedicated to that. So Bearded Eagle is dedicated to growing organizations and teams in their agility, in their ability to be able to deliver more faster with greater collaboration and drive innovation. And we do that, right? And we help organizations transform from where they were to where they want to be, utilizing Agile and Scrum techniques. And we've been in the business a really long time. Devon and I are the first people who look like us to have reached the heights in the industry that we did. And that made a mark. There are many people today who look like us who came through our training. So there's, having been in the industry a very long time and paid the cost of being in the industry a very long time, we know how to do those things. But what we're not known for necessarily publicly is helping individuals personally. Because a lot of the helping we've done for individuals has been private, and we've done a lot of personal coaching for people. I've had a lot of mentees over the years, but I've never really given a really huge mentee program out there. But I'm going to come back to that. Let's go back to the Evolve You. So Evolve You Academy is designed to help people move, shift, and grow. Help people move, shift, and grow. And why am I helping people move, shift, and grow? Because if I can help you move, shift, and grow, you can get to your joy. You can get to that peace. You can get to that bag quicker and easier if I help you grow. So it's growing to get you to where your greatness is. That's the point behind Evolve You, and helping you understand that every single thing that you do today and tomorrow are your next best moves. And if they're not, they should be. And it's the idea of saying that what's in the past is in the past. It's not that it's negative. There shouldn't be regrets associated, but we X the past when we make our next best move. So now we're looking at where we are and where we're going, where we are and where we're going. So Evolve You Academy is about bringing programs to help people understand where they are, where they're going, and so they can go there with speed, focus, and results. Go there with speed, focus, and results. That's the point of Evolve You Academy. And under Evolve You Academy are currently going to be two major programs. I'm going to probably do some others, but two major ones that you will hear about. Powerful Women Leaders. You're going to hear about that. And the second one you're going to hear about is Launching Your Power. Right? So you're going to hear more about those two than some other ones. There's other things I'm going to do, but you'll hear a lot about those. And under Evolve You Academy, I will be launching a coaching program specifically to bring people on two different types of journey. An initial 6-month journey, and then a 12-month journey. Now, I kind of feel inclined to take people on the 6-month journey first, so it's kind of like an engagement. See how we get on before I go into the 12 months journey, because I think it's important for people to, one, understand my style, to ensure that we're a match and that we're both bringing each other value. And in the coaching programs, I will be taking nuggets and modules that you'll hear me deliver when I'm having a Launch Your Power event, or I'm having a Powerful Leaders event, Powerful Women Leaders event, or if I'm doing an Next Best Move event. You're going to hear me talking about those things. And when I do lives, I'll mention different things from there, because those are things I talk about. But I'll go deep into the how and the mechanics and the systems behind those things, so that the people in my coaching program get them and can utilize them, and they become tools in their toolkit versus just stuff that they're going to hear about. So I'm kind of excited about that. So those are some of the things that are coming down path for 2023. So when you see the different kind of banners, or you see my image on a different thing, oh, what's Lizzie doing? Now you kind of got an idea. Oh, got it. Right? That's things I'm doing. Now, Facebook was so generous in messing up my Facebook accounts that I had to set up a whole set of new Facebook accounts, because I have no access to the older ones. So Evolutionary Growth, Lizzie Morris CST, my personal Lizzie Morris page, I cannot access those anymore. The only one I was able to still access, and I lost it for a while, but I've got it back now, was the Lizzie Morris TV, which was the one where I started doing the LinkedIn Live shows. If you remember, during COVID, I started the LinkedIn Live, the link, let's continue the conversation and let's talk agile. So I started those during COVID. Some of them I'm going to be bringing back. I'm definitely continuing with Let's Continue the Conversation, because I feel that Let's Continue the Conversation is something that needs to be just, conversation needs to keep going, because we haven't yet got the results. So we've got that. So that is still going to be in play. So the only pages I can respond to people on now is the Lizzie Morris TV page and the new ones I've set up. So I've set up new ones that are strategically set up behind what it is I'm getting ready to do. So the Launch Your Power is a page that you can find, and it has a group to it. The I Am Lizzie Morris is now my primary page. Okay, I Am Lizzie Morris. So if you look up I Am Lizzie Morris on Facebook, that's my primary page now. I had to set that up. And you'll see me on there with the blue outfit, right? The blue dress suit outfit. That's my primary Facebook page. So if you're looking to connect with me, go to I Am Lizzie Morris. Okay, I am Lizzie Morris. Lizzzy, people. Lizzzy. I am not an IE. I am a ZZY. Okay, so it's Lizzie Morris. I am Lizzie Morris. You'll find that. I have updated my Instagram. I had 2 Instagram accounts. The Your Agile Lady, which was very much all about Agile and talking to Agile stuff, etc. And then I used to have Your Coach Lizzie, which is now I Am Lizzie Morris. So I've changed that to I Am Lizzie Morris. Everything that used to say Your Coach Lizzie now says I am Lizzie Morris. So you can find me. But if you go looking for a Lizzie with an IE, you're not going to find me. It's Lizzie with Lizzzy. Okay? And Morris is Morris. M for mother, O for Oscar, Roger, I, sugar. Okay? Just so you know. So now you've got a gist of how to find me. I'm going to be doing more Clubhouse rooms. I stopped doing Clubhouse kind of last year, really. I fell off. Lots of things were going on, and I just wasn't in the space to really be out there. I wasn't in the space. I'm now ready to be back in the space because mentally my head is all back together and I'm feeling like me again. Mental health is real, and when you are a high achiever, you master being a professional. Let me say that again. When you're a high achiever, you master being a professional. Let me explain what I mean. Now, when you are a professional, it's like a mask that you put on. It's a persona that you hold. It's the persona that you use when you are exchanging your skills and your expertise in business. Professional persona comes on, right? And there's things you do and there's things you don't do, and your professional persona comes on. And when you've been a professional for many, 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 many years, you can keep that persona going even when you're no longer going. Let me say that again. You can keep your persona going even when you're not going because you have mastered how to be a professional. It's like a default, and it means you don't have to really think. But eventually you come through. And when you come through, when you're not no longer yourself and things are going on with you and life is doing what life likes to do, it eventually squeezes through professionalism and you peep out. And that's when that peep out happens. You're like, oh. But you don't realize you're going to do that because you're just kind of going along with the program. That is why, again, Evolve You Academy is so important to me. And the concept of launching your power so you show up as you. I have been saying lately that your professionalism should be an accessory. You use it as an accessory to who you are. It's not who you are. Who you are is who you are. It's whoever it is you're deciding to be. That's who you are. And that's what people should meet, and that's what should show up. Our humanity is always there. It's always there. And there should be nothing that takes your humanity away. And there should be no room you have to walk into where you cannot be the human you. Let me say that again. There's no room you should walk into that you cannot be the human you in. If there's a room that doesn't accept you for who you are and what you are, maybe that isn't a room you should be in. And I can say that at this juncture of my life because I'm older. And a lot of times when we're younger, we're okay to be in rooms that don't accept who we are. And then we morph to be whatever it is we feel people need us to be in those rooms. And we can lose ourselves in that. And it's not healthy. It's not a healthy thing to keep transforming at other people's beck and call. Let me say that again. It is not a healthy thing to keep transforming at other people's beck and call. If you are intentionally, on purpose, shifting and moving yourself to become the better version of you, a you that is stronger, a you that is more focused, a you that is able to do more, able to be more, able to give more, then you, that's on you. You're making that happen. You're driving that. You're not being dragged along on somebody else's journey. And that's important, to be driving the car on your journey and not giving the keys to your journey to somebody else. As you're doing your journey, hold your keys. Don't give somebody else the car keys to drive you on your journey of life. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't. I'm pointing. Yes, I am pointing. Don't do that. If you have done that, go back and go take your keys. Go back, go grab those keys, take them back, drive your own life. Now, you can join vehicles, right? So somebody else is in their vehicle, and you're in, and you're going on life together, right? And they become your road buddy. Yes, we're going on this together. There's nothing wrong with that. They got their keys, you got your keys. And there are points at which you'll have what I call a family vehicle, right? Where we take turns. But always I am a driver, not a passenger, not on my journey of life. You can't be a passenger on your journey of life. You've always got to be a driver. And that's where Vim comes into place. As long as you've got Vim in place and you know your Vim, you're not going to be giving your keys up and willy-nilly just gliding along on somebody else's journey. You need your Vim. You need your Vim. V-I-M. You need your Vim. Your vision, your intentions, and your missions. If you have your visions, your intentions, and your missions, you are never going to be giving other people your keys. But see, if you're living a life with no vision and no intention and no missions, then, oh well. Too easy to do that. Anyway, so you got the gist. So that's me, Lizzie, signing out and getting ready to move forward with some other things. I leave you with the fact that nothing is impossible. Everything is doable. Let me say that again. Nothing is impossible. Everything is doable. The key is to understanding how to do it. So what's the blueprint? What's the rules of engagement? If you get those, it doesn't matter what comes. Yeah, you can do it. And impossible becomes not part of your vocabulary. Because all I need to figure out the rules of engagement for me with this and what the blueprint is, then I can navigate. Your life can be the very best life you want it to be. If you will give yourself the time, and I'm a stuck record on this. She always says this. I always say this. I will always say this. Give yourself the time to pause. You got to take a pause. You got to take your pause. What is your pause? What is it? Pause. Check. Where am I? Where am I in this moment? Do I want to be in this moment? And do I want to be in this moment this way? Or do I want to be in this moment a different way? Now, you've looked around, you figured that out, make your next best move. Next best move is always one step ahead of you. Let me say it again. Your next best move is always one step ahead of you. Your next best move is never behind you. Your next best move is never behind you. It's one step ahead. So if you can make your next best move, you'll always be in motion. And if you're in motion, you're going to arrive at the next point of destiny. So I'm grateful and thankful that you heard this today and it gave you what you needed. I'm grateful and thankful you're thinking today about the vision for your life. I'm grateful and thankful that you are able to gift yourself pause anytime you need it. You're able to go, I pause. Take that pause and make a difference. You deserve it. I want it for you. The universe wants it for you. So today, go ahead, go on in love, and go on in light. Take care.